Assalamu alaikum students. So far we discussed about the physical properties of metals. Now we will quickly get into the physical properties of non-metal. The first one is that metals, we know that in metals we saw they have a shiny appearance, have a shiny surface. But in case of non-metals, they do not have any shining surface. And the best example is wood or coal. They contain carbon, and carbon is a non metal. In fact, all of the stuffs contain carbon, and they do not have any shiny surface like silver, gold, or copper does. Next, non-metals are not sonorous. It means they do not produce any sort of ringing sound like how metals produce. So you can't have a bell with wood. Non-metals are not malleable. They are not ductile. You definitely can't draw sheets or wires from them. Even if you beat them, if you start hammering with wood, what will happen? The wood will get into pieces, right? So similarly, if you start hammering coal, it will break in the form of powder or small pieces. So you will never be able to beat coal or wood or any other non-metal to form a wire or to form a sheet. In fact, non-metals get broken into pieces and they are termed as brittle then. Okay. Next, non-metals are poor conductors of heat. They can't conduct heat, so they are extremely poor conductors of heat. If when you burn coal, they generate heat. So generating heat is something else. They are producing heat, but they cannot conduct heat. They cannot pass on heat. If you put coal over fire, so, generating heat is something else. They are producing heat, but they cannot conduct heat. Even if you put coal over fire, what happens? Coal will start burning. It will not be able to conduct heat to some other object. So, you really can't cook with a vessel made of wood or a vessel made of coal or any non-metal. They are also poor conductors of electricity. See, that is when your wires are made up of metals and not of wood or coal, because metals are good conductors. Now, why I'm taking examples of wood and coal? Because that is something you can more easily relate to. So, you think of a circuit like this. Here I'm showing. So, say you are having a bulb, you are having a battery, and when you connect the bulb to battery through metal wires, you are taking metal wires. So, metals are good conductors. But in between, you have put a plastic bottle or plastic material. So, this plastic is a poor conductor. Now, even though the current here is circuit here is complete, what happens since this plastic is a poor conductor? So that part of the electric circuit is not complete. Electric current is not complete. Therefore, the bulb does not glow. So this shows that non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. Next is they are comparatively soft when compared to metals. And one more property is they have low density. Of course, you talk about copper and iron, they're extremely heavy, they're very dense, but non-metals are not like that. In fact, when you talk about metals, they are all solids. They are mostly they are solids. And when you talk about non-metals, they are mostly gaseous or solids. The only exception is bromine, which is a non-metal, but still it's liquid, right? So far, we have just talked all about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. But there are certain exceptions to metal and non-metal physical properties which we discussed. So let's look at the exceptions. So let's take the first exception, that is mercury is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. It's only liquid. It means metals are solids, but it's the only metal which is liquid. And have you observed your thermometer? A liquid is there, which is very shiny, and a special property it has that it never sticks to the walls of the thermometer. So that liquid is mercury. Otherwise, all metals are solids. Next, metals have high melting points except gallium and cesium. Because of high melting points, metals are used in the filament of bulbs, making utensils because they will not melt easily. But the exception to that is gallium and cesium because they are of low melting points. Okay. Next, iodine is a non-metal that has luster. Now, normally metals have luster and non-metals do not have luster, but the only non-metal with luster is iodine. Again, an exception. Next, diamond that's an allotrope of carbon, is the hardest natural substance known and has a very high melting point and boiling point. Again, we say that metals have high melting and boiling point, but diamond, even though a non-metal, has a high melting point. Then graphite, which is again another allotrope of carbon, is a conductor of electricity. Now, see, non-metals are poor conductors of electricity, but again, graphite, which is made of carbon, non-metal, is the only exception because it's a good conductor of electricity, but it is a non-metal. Alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, they are soft, so that they can be cut with a knife. They have low densities and low melting points. Now, see, mostly metals are hard, right? That is why I told you that based on physical properties alone, we cannot judge whether a substance is a metal or non-metal, because different substances will behave differently for each of the properties. So, because therefore, we categorize any substance as metal or non-metal depending upon whether that particular substance is electropositive or electronegative in nature. Now, you look at these metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, they're all metals, but they are not hard. But we can say that metals are hard, right? They also have low densities, but we say metals have high densities. They also have relatively low melting points, but again, we say that metals have high melting points. So, these are quite few exceptions to the physical properties of metals and non metals, and these were the ones.